Welcome to QueAquatics and Exotic. I'm Suzy, and today I'm going to give you a tour of my backyard. Now keep in mind this is early spring, and I want to document the difference between early spring and late summer, because I think it's going to be very different. So let's start with the pond area. So here I just have some potted plants and a couple of annuals. I got some ferns, some sphagnum lilies, I think. And of course my big boulders, the fern, double flowering impatiens. What I do want to point out is this fence isn't done and this gate isn't done, because that's going to happen in the next month. So if we're looking at the pond, so right now I am to the point where I am going to drain 1/3 of this, scrub down the rocks, and refill it with water. I'm going to do a massive water change on the pond. I'm going to do it now. I'll probably do it once mid-spring. I mean, we're in mid-spring now. Once mid-summer, and again before we close. So this is my 2,000-gallon pond with my bridge. I've got some annuals still. My goal is to have all hardy plants and all perennials. It's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. Let's take a look at some of my tubs. So here's my 100-gallon tub that houses my lilies, because I don't want the koi's eating them. I have danios and paradise fish in here. And this is a 100-gallon tub that Yertle was in my red air slider, but now there's 2 turtles in here. My red air slider right there. I don't know if you could see her. Probably not. So here's some of the other ponds I got and some of the projects I'm working on. This little tub is my live bearer tub, and this is going to get a water change first. This is the one that's in direct sun, so I want to try to beat back some of the algae. This is another smaller tub, but that doesn't get as much sun, but this has my Mickey Mouse platies. And back here I've got some aquatic plants, aquatic ferns, floaters, and there's no fish in that one as of yet. And this beauty that was sparked by rack, even though it's galvanized steel, it is my favorite tub. I got the idea from rack at River Life. So if you haven't seen River Life's channel, you don't know what you're missing. So check it out. Not only does he have aquariums, he's got landscapes, he's got artwork, he's got a lot going on over his channel, River Life. I'll put the link up there. Let's get back to my galvanized steel. Love this, because I have about 8 yearling turtles in here. So what I've done is I've got my ZESEN filter over there, this sandbox, and underneath that sandbox is solid brick, because I didn't want them going in between, but you could see some of them down here. I've got Reeves turtles, I got map turtles, I got a red air slider, I've got my Eastern painted. So not only do they bask, you can tell by their prints that they play in their sandbox. That's what I call it, their sandbox. Lots and lots of things going on here, and plenty of water. So this is my original summer tubbing corner. But let's take a look at my other turtle pond. Oh, but first let's stop at this hibiscus. So not only is this beauty, now keep in mind I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hibiscus. Because not only do I think the flowers are spectacular, they also are amazing food for my tortoises. And some of my turtles actually like the flowers, and one of my tortoises love the leaves, so very handy. They got dual purpose. But this little is a summer tub that is built into the pond. I mean, it's built into the ground. I have started with some perennials, and I have some annuals to fill in the blank. You see 2 turtles here. That's my peacock slider, yellow belly slider, and where is my diamondback terrapin? It's actually one of my more famous baskers. So he could actually be out here, because they can get out of here. They just can't get out of this enclosure. And right behind these hibiscus is my sulcatas. So here I've got 2 sulcatas. Probably doesn't look like much right now, huh? I just moved this enclosure over here. I'm gonna plant some grass and some chia. And when they're out, I just pluck this hibiscus, throw it into them. They love it. And this is normally the tortoise run, but I think I'm having a little mole issue, and I was worried. This is the secured half of my, you see them? Russian tortoises. I don't know if you could see through the net. But they're secured from cats and predators. And normally when I'm home, they're out. They come out here. They come out here. But now that I have this hole, I don't know. This is my cherry head. I was at work all day, so my baby cherry head is inside, because that's normally them. And then here's what I call my upper level waterfall, which if any of you watch my live stream know I am aiming on turning this into the top. There's a whole stream that goes down my yard into the pond. Those are my intentions, and I'm just going to start digging. So let's take a look at this. I know I got a little. Now this one I'm a little more dedicated to keeping perennials, so the less work possible, but I did fill in between with some annuals because I want these to come back every year, and all I have to do is weed. So as you can see, I've got 2 ponds, these 2 plastic liners set inside the dirt so they don't get too hot. You see it's already in the shade, so this is great. So it doesn't get too much sun. And in here, I got 2 regular goldfish and a fancy fantail. I call them a fancy. This waterfall falls into a bucket of rock that helps with the filtration, believe it or not. And up here, since I don't have fish, because the fish usually don't stay up here, I do have lily pad. I've got 3 hardy plants that have not been planted yet. Bamboo, foxtail, and my turtle, who's pretty beat up, but he actually does prevent a lot of this frog bit from going over. I'm still not sure if I'm going to keep the retaining wall or stop the retaining wall here and have another waterfall into my river. Well, a little stream, but still my river. And this is my backyard in the beginning. Okay, so now we're coming into the front yard. And what we did this year is I pulled out the old pond because it just kept leaking. We tried sealing the 2 leaks, didn't work. So that's John's bike, not mine. So this is my front yard pond. And what we did is when we pulled out the old pond, it was a little bit deeper and wider. So this one's actually 2 feet. I got some baby koi in here. Probably 4 baby koi that if I put them in my pond, they're going to get out competed for food real easy. I've got some annuals planted around because I'm not sure what we're going to do around here. But this was John's idea to put mulch all around. And then I've got some perennials back there that will come back every year. And I really love this front yard pond. Most of these floating baskets are annuals. There's a couple of perennials. But I made these floating baskets. So if you're interested in how I made the floating baskets, go ahead and click on this link. Very easy, very affordable. Super, super easy, let me tell you. So here we go. We've got some irises. I think this is the mimosa. I fell in love with this on Rachel's channel last year, or 2 years ago. This is a aquatic hibiscus. And this almost looks like a peperomia, but I don't believe it is. Then over here, these are not planted yet. They're creeping Jenny and Mondo grass. The creeping Jenny, it will grow. It's pretty hardy. So I was very excited that John helped with the design of this pond. And let me tell you, what a difference when you're working on a hobby together as a family. It was the best feeling ever. So thank you, John Bag of Donuts. So thanks for coming out and checking out my backyard. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing a little spotlight on each of the fish that I have, each of the ponds that I have. So if you have any questions or any concerns about any of my ponds, my plants, my fish, just go ahead and leave it in the comment. So thanks for coming out and checking out my backyard and my front yard. This is like beginning, middle spring. I want to check out the progress that I have towards the end of the summer. See how some of these plants filled in and how many fry I get. Thanks guys, and I will see you next time.
Everybody is SuzyQue. Hey, everybody is SuzyQue. Nah, nah, hey, everybody is SuzyQue. So come along with me. Said I'm SuzyQue.